All right, folks, right now, everyone wants a slice of the silver pie, but there simply is not enough pie to go around. Check this out. Silver sold out in Holland, the UK, Royal Canadian Mint, South Africa, India, Vietnam, and the USA, and the list gets larger by the day. Now, I went looking around, and some of the sites that I know are the most popular in the United States, at least, they still have product, but the whole point is that it's starting to get harder and harder to acquire it, just like back in February of 2021 during the Wall Street silver movement, where you try to get silver and you're either trying to add it to the cart, but the cart's frozen because the website has so much traffic that it's offline, or it shuts down, or there's 1, 2, 3 week delays, or they're just not accepting orders, period. We're going to start getting to that point, and we're starting to see signs of the markets getting to that point. Producers will turn into the consumers will turn into the producers, especially when it's not just you and I, but big tech enters this, this type of silver scavenge, and they realize that we don't have enough silver to go green. That's when silver's true value will start to shine, pun intended. First and foremost, though, thank you for tuning into your daily silver news. My name is Silver Slayer, and if you want the latest information on what's happening across the globe and how that affects the price of precious metals, make sure you click subscribe. When you click subscribe, click the bell. I know one company for sure can still get silver when others can't, and that is Miles Franklin. That's because Andy Scheckman, the CEO, has connections where no one else does, and I promise those connections will go a long way, especially if you don't have anyone that you've built a business relationship with. You can do that with Andy. Andy will be able, and I promise will be one of the last ones that is able to still find silver. Send an email to info@milesfranklin.com. Let them know Slayer sent you. You could also mention you watch Andy or whatever, and even sometimes I can hook you up with Andy. Build these business relationships, because when all else fails, these other companies, they don't know your first name. They don't care about you. Or with Andy and I, we care because you're viewers of ours, you're subscribers of ours, and that can go a long way for buying and selling and buying back from you. So yeah, just something to keep in mind. Also, real quick, I have a GoFundMe. I'm in a custody battle with my daughter. The campaign is still going, so I'm going to share it. I don't want to keep throwing it in your face, but sometimes people don't watch all of my videos. So if you would like to help donate, try to cover the legal fees. I'm in a messy custody battle. A lot of you have donated, and I appreciate you all so much. Just watching the video is more than enough, but if you're able to, and you're willing to help, I'd really appreciate it. The link's in the description. If you want to know a little bit more about, what's happening, you can go to the GoFundMe link. Like I said, you don't have to. I'm just mentioning it in case you're kind enough to want to, help, because my daughter is my entire world. You guys have known from the start. She's been here. We used to call her baby Bullion. Since before she was 1 year old, I would take pictures with her with a whole bunch of silver coins around, and over the years, you guys have kind of got to know her. So yeah, if you want to help a father out, then links in the description. So thanks for listening through all the announcements. Now let's talk silver. I will link this article in the description as well. So India, no silver for you. Let's check this out. So this is BangaloreFinery.com. Sold out of everything. You can see right here as well. A lot of it's sold out. I mean, everything is sold out. USA, no Eagles for you. This is Monument Metals. Pre-order, out of stock. USA, no shares for you to borrow. The SLV, Bob Coleman, who runs a precious metals vault and services in Idaho, states if dealers or authorized participants want to draw down shares in SLV and redeem silver in a rising market, there's a hidden price to pay. The borrowing fee to short SLV shares just exploded higher, almost tripling from last week. And get this, less than 10,000 shares available to short, expecting volatility to rise in the options markets. That is massive, because we know a lot of silver's price manipulation. The corruption comes from the COMEX, most popular, the SLV, all of these paper contracts flooding the market where there's not that much physical silver to deliver. But we know that over time, a lot of times people settling in cash will actually want to acquire their silver. If you can't hold it, you don't own it. And that's where there would become a problem, where the COMEX facade starts to get exposed. But anyways, Vietnam, no silver for you either. I'm in Vietnam and they have streets lined with gold and silver shops. Vietnamese always been strong buyers of metal to bury in the garden. Anyways, there's a supply shock of physical silver, aka there is none for sale. Expect it to be reflected in the price action this week. Definitely, there's a direct correlation between silver demand and silver's price. When demand is high, the price correlates with it, right? It mimics it. But imagine this on a bigger scale. I keep saying this. I've been talking about the silver shortage for years and years, and people always said, I can still go on APMEX and buy silver. There's no silver shortage. That's not what I meant. I mean on a much grander scale. Robert Kiyosaki, actually, he mentioned 5 things to protect yourself against the big financial collapse or whatever. And he had 5 lessons. Lesson number 4, he said he learned from Silver Slayer. And I was talking about in my interview with him a couple of years ago when I was a special guest on his podcast with over 3 million subscribers. I was talking about the macro. I was talking about the bigger picture, stepping back, right? I've been talking about silver exploding within the year 2025 to 2026. I've been saying that since 2019 because it all added up to right now is when we're really going to start to see the silver shortage affect the market. Back then, they could still sweep it under the rug. Back then, you could have guys come out and say, oh, there's plenty of above ground silver and all that. Now, you can't hide it. And right now, I think we're starting to see the first symptoms of really having a hard time acquiring silver play into effect. And this is a prime example. Holland, no silver for you either. Silver shortages in Holland. No bars, no Maple Leafs, Krugerrands, Philharmonics, Kangaroos, American Eagles. At least the chocolate and cheese is safe. Wow. South Africa, no silver Krugerrands for you, dear client. The demand for silver Krugerrands has been off the charts. As a result, current stock at Rand Refinery is sold out. Here's what you need to know. 1, sold out refinery, officially sold out of silver Krugerrands. 2, shipment on the way. A large new shipment's been secured, is expected to arrive in approximately 2 weeks. 3, deferred delivery orders. That's another red flag. In order to maintain continuity, we are locking in stock pricing daily against the incoming shipment. This means you can continue to place orders at daily prices. However, please note the delivery will take place as soon as the shipment arrives and is released. And then that's where things get very, very sticky and very messy and very dangerous. When you start pushing these delays and then you lock in a price, but then the price either rises or drops, so then you lock it in and you're like, wait, I don't want this anymore, and then you cancel it and you got to pay the fee and then this and that, or the price goes upwards and then they lose out on money because they locked in a price that it's just a whole mess. Canada, no silver for you. I spent an hour going through Royal Canadian Mint website. There's no gold for sale at all. Sold out. 85% of silver is gone as well. Silver scarcity is intensifying across both physical and ETF markets, with major global dealers reporting depleted inventories and escalating costs to access silver-linked financial products. Prominent bullion distributors such as Rand, UK Bullion, Monument Metals recently listed no physical silver Krugerrands or American Eagle Monster boxes are in stock, while JM Bullion has run out of backdated silver eagles, underlining widespread retail shortages. Costco, a popular mass market outlet for silver bullion, also has frequently sold out of stock, suggesting strong retail demand and supply chain disturbances. Internationally, Japan's largest bullion dealer faces a gold supply crunch, particularly from smaller bars, reflecting broader issues in precious metals distribution. Meanwhile, credible commodity publishers like Zero Hedge reported unprecedented difficulty in sourcing silver in Vietnam, corroborating a pattern of shortages in emerging Asian markets. I mean, this is not going to stop. This is only going to get worse and worse and worse and worse. The strain extends to financial instruments, the cost to borrow, and now that this news is starting to break out, even more people are going to want to get in, right? Because we know the price is going to keep going higher. The only thing that's going to stop us from being able to get silver is us actually getting it. No matter even if you're willing to pay the higher prices, it won't matter because you won't even be able to find it, even if you were willing to pay the higher prices. This is where things start to get interesting, folks. So, and then especially when this goes into the paper market. Look at this. iShares Silver Trust SLV soared above 8.5% with zero available shares, signaling acute pressure in the ETF lending market as silver moves deeper into backwardation. Backwardation, a scenario where spot prices exceed futures prices, often reflects immediate physical demand and vanishing supplies, forcing investors and institutions to pay hefty premiums for current day delivery. Collectively, these trends point to a dramatic silver squeeze gripping retail and institutional markets alike. Right, and this is a natural silver squeeze, not a planned, very inauthentic one that Wall Street Silver did in February 2021. That was just a gathered movement of people planning one day or a couple of days to do that. This is a natural silver squeeze happening naturally from everyone just wanting more and more silver, with this type of facade starting to get exposed. You can see the difference between a forced silver squeeze and a natural one. The natural one's going to last. The forced one runs out when everyone runs out of money or people start selling, like a lot of them did. This is a natural one, and that's why it's on a global scale and not just focused from a couple of guys that made a lot of money from GameStop and AMC. So bullion dealers across continents from North America to Europe and Asia are unanimously reporting sellouts or extreme shortages. At the same time, the ETF sector is marked by surging borrowing fees and vanishing availability of shares, underscoring the rapid escalation of scarcity. This environment may drive continued volatility in premiums for both physical silver and paper-based products, intensifying the challenge for investors seeking exposure to the metal. Folks, I'm telling you, if you want a surefire way to be able to acquire silver for cheap prices, safely, securely, and from someone that's actually going to care about you, Miles Franklin is the way to go. Miles Franklin is the way to go. These other sites, they have too many customers. They don't know your first name. They don't care to know your name. They don't care about anything. Miles Franklin's way more personable, and if there's ever a problem, Andy Schectman will fix it. And if there is a problem, email me, hit me up. I will call Andy personally on his personal cell phone, and if I can't fix it, I will give you his number, and he will personally fix it for you. That's why they have no bad ratings, no negative ratings in 35 years. Because yes, mistakes happen, but Andy will always make sure it gets fixed, and I can attest to that. I'm sure a lot of you, not a lot of you, but some of you can as well. There's been problems. Some of you have Andy's personal phone number because of problems, and Andy always fixes it. And Andy can find silver when no one else can, because he has connections. That's why every time there's like a massive $55 million order, 900,000 eagles, 100,000 ounces in junk silver, they call Andy Schectman, because nobody else can fill an order like that, but Andy can. Even Robert Kiyosaki on his podcast with me, when I was on talking to him, he said, my dealer of like 40 something years can't find silver anymore. But he says, you know who can though? Andy Schectman. So anyways, folks, yeah, I'm going to wrap this video up here. We got some other stuff to talk about. Post 2 videos a day. My schedule's off right now, but it's supposed to be noon EST and 6 p.m. EST. I'm going to get to that schedule starting tomorrow. So yeah, noon and 6 p.m. Eastern Standard, 2 videos a day. Make sure you are there. If you guys wanted to, to donate to the GoFundMe, I'd really appreciate it. A lot of you have. It's been such a stress relief not having to worry about the legal costs. I'm already worried about everything else with the case. At least I know that I'm covered on that, and I cannot thank you guys enough for that, because it's way more expensive than I've never did court case stuff. I I had no idea of this. I know people say, yeah, it's pricey, but I did not know to this extent. So I'm glad that, I'm blessed enough to have people that care enough to lend, to help. I love you guys so much for that. So yeah, anyways, I'm gonna wrap this video up here. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is Silver Slayer. I will see you guys tomorrow at noon. Stay tuned. Peace. From now on, every single month on the 31st, you have a chance to win silver, a continuous silver giveaway. Well, if you become a member of the Secret Silver Society on my Patreon, you have that opportunity. So every single month, you have something exciting to look forward to, which would be winning silver. On top of that, you'll have access to a live chat room with other silver stackers where you can post pictures and chat, just hang out with everyone, and have early access to my videos along with supporting me. If this is something you'd like to do, then come join my Patreon. It's patreon.com/silverslayer. Upon joining, you'll be given a monthly raffle ticket and instant access to that chat room. Go introduce yourself. Everyone is super nice, and it's more personal and intimate than a YouTube comment section.